I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 190. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at www.gamingpodcastalliance.com if you are looking for more gaming goodness. I'm your host, Dave Bertino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Dan. It is the final week of our October contest. Spooky Scary over here. All right. Remember that we were giving away a copy of Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch, and our secret code this week is GUIGI. Again, that is GUIGI. Send us that code via DM, private message, or email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com for entry. Note that you can enter once per episode, and we will be dropping, well, this will be the final code that we are dropping in October, so be sure to get those in. Also, for an additional entry, head on over to our Twitter at RatedG4Gamers, and like our contest post, retweet, and make sure you are following us. Good luck to everyone who enters. All right, now that we got that out of the way, Dan.
I still can't believe they named him Gooigi.
No.
Out of all the things, they named him Gooigi.
Well, he's made a goo, and he's Luigi.
He's made a goo.
Yeah.
Well, he's made a goo
version of Luigi.
He's goo. He's slime. He's
Slimey-G?
Slimey-G. I would do Slimey-G.
I guess. I mean, you're just saying the name is a little suggestive, right?
Yeah, slime.
He's green goo. He's
He's gobbly. He's the gobbly green goober gobble. Yeah, he's Gooigi. All right, let's just leave it at that. Okay, I give up.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's not necessarily the best name, but
I give up.
I
give up.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
How was your weekend, man?
My weekend was pretty good. I know we're going to get into a little bit later in the show our pickups and the things we've been playing. So I definitely had a pretty good weekend in regards to that. How about you?
It was good. I went to a Halloween party.
Spooky, scary, very nice.
Well, I don't know if I wasn't spooky or scary. I was fantasy.
I would argue that you were definitely in you had a good costume that thematically fit with the holiday.
I was angry black Harry Potter.
Angry black Harry Potter. There you go.
Or ghetto Potter, as I like to, you know. Or somebody at the
hoodie Potter.
No. You know, I a part of me wanted to say hoodie Potter, but somebody at the Halloween party called me Harold Potter.
Harold Potter, nice.
And then somebody at the table, because I told them, because I had the whole outfit. I had the prep school sweater and the tie. I had the glasses. I didn't have a wand because the wand was sold out everywhere. And I had the cowl, the cape and the cowl. And somebody said I had Tim's on just because it was raining and I didn't want to wear shoes and mess the shoes up.
Sure, I understand.
So I wore Tim's and I had jeans. So someone is like, "You're like the hood Harry Potter."
There you go.
And I was like, "Yeah." And it's like, you could be like Hennessy Potter.
You're from you're from House 115th Street.
Well, I can be Brooklyn. I was like, I'm Harry Potter if he was born in Brooklyn.
There you go.
I wanted to put a do-rag on and have a blunt, but I didn't think it would be appropriate.
That may have been a bridge too far.
I mean, look, it's the thing, the Potter. I'm going off the Potter part. Right?
I see. Very nice.
If Harry Potter was born in Brooklyn, I'm just going to leave that story to your imagination.
Yeah, that's fine.
On these streets, these mean streets of Brooklyn.
Yeah, right. Living down in the unfinished basement.
He had that name Potter for a reason.
Yeah, right. I got you.
Hey, Mr. Potter.
Yeah, right. He was slinging yay before he went to Hogwarts. It's fine. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad
He can use the wand to make it grow faster.
there you go. There you go. Oh, that's awesome.
I also saw. I saw it last weekend, but we had already recorded the show. I saw the Joker.
Oh yeah, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Say that again.
The Joaquin.
Joaquin. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh man, okay. That
I
threw
don't
me
know.
off.
He's got a. I love him as an actor. He's got a very interesting name.
He does.
Yeah.
He's very interesting. I just call him Mr. Phoenix.
Mr. Phoenix.
He did a fantastic job as the Joker. I love the movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really does highlight mental illness.
Right. Yeah, I mean that was like kind of the big thing. Like they wanted to put the character in a realistic scenario to where you could see this person turning to a life of crime and this and that, and you know.
Honestly, it was again, it took like a realistic, dark, tone to it, like the Nolan, like the Batman Nolan North movies. I said Nolan North. What is it? Is that who we say Nolan?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. I always say Nolan North.
Christopher Nolan North.
Yes, Christopher Nolan North. Christopher North. Just like those movies with Christian Bale.
Right.
I love somebody on the internet is like, undefeated. Because somebody on the internet put all the best moments of the Joker, the Joaquin. I can't even say it how you say it.
Joaquin.
How
You're cracking a whip.
They put all the best clips of him as the Joker together.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like turning into the Joker. And then they had like 5 years later thing, and then it was like Heath Ledger walking into the room with all the gangsters.
Oh, nice.
It was like, 5 years later, he's even more sadistic, and he's just like, you want to see a magic trick?
Yeah. Put down the pencil. My God, that was one of the best scenes in cinema that I've seen in a long time.
I can actually see, that being Heath Ledger's like origin story, right? Like him being turned into a Joker like that, and then him being this like crazy sadistic killer, right? Because he just, loved killing people in the Joker movie. Like that was the thing. Like it brings me joy.
Whoa, wait a minute. Calm down now. You like seeing people die on camera. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what the Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, okay,
Joker,
okay.
That was the
Joker's
theme.
MO.
I like to see people die. That was like at the end. It was like that was the theme. Right?
Interesting.
So
I still have yet to see it, surprisingly, even though I was pretty hype on the trailer. I'm excited to see it.
And I don't want what I didn't like in the movie is that they tied Batman into it at the end.
Oh yeah, that feels like that's unnecessary.
It was like Batman's origin story. So if they did a Joker 2, Batman just can't be in it because in the movie he's like in his 40s, right?
The Joker is, yeah.
The Joker's like in his 40s, like 40s essentially. So if Batman was to be real, the Joker would probably be in his 60s. He'd be in his 60s.
Yeah. I mean, how old was Chester Cobblepot? Wasn't he the Penguin?
And where?
Chester Cobblepot. Yeah.
How old was he? Where?
Just in the comics and the movies in general. How old was he supposed to be in Batman Returns? I felt like he was a pretty old dude.
I don't think he was 60.
I don't know.
I don't think he was 60.
Maybe not.
I don't know how Penguins age. I don't know.
Mr. Freeze seemed pretty old in the Batman animated series.
Because he was frozen.
I don't know, but he seemed like an old dude. He seemed like a scientist who was in his 60s.
Because he was frozen.
All right, Listen, they can make it work. All right.
I don't know, Joaquin. I don't know if they can make him old. They would have to make him older.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or maybe he's not the original Joker. Like that's what somebody said. Somebody was like, if they tie it in, he wouldn't be the original Joker. He wouldn't be he would be the original Joker, but the Joker for Batman would be
somebody else would take the mantle up and yeah.
And guess what? DC would screw that up like they screwed up every other movie.
DC screws everything up, man.
Like they screw up every other movie.
Yeah, there's definitely no way around that.
We should just do a show on how me alone, could have fixed the DCU.
Oh boy.
Okay, I could have fixed it after. Listen,
Dan, Kevin Feige Robinson over here.
Dan Feige. Okay, Dan Feige. I could have fixed it after Batman v Superman. After that debacle. Right?
Explain. Lay it down. Give us the 30-second DC fix pitch.
All right. I'll shorten it for you.
Broad stroke.
After Broad strokes.
Yeah.
I could turn that into something
Oh
totally
boy,
different.
let's not get into that.
All right, we're not Deadpool. We're not R-rated. After Batman v Superman, scrap everything else. Done.
Oh, well,
Done. Just
wait a minute. Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was good.
okay, yeah. Don't tie. They have no relation to the Batman v Superman universe.
But they do already, though. That's the problem.
Well, you know what?
You got to retcon it.
Guess what? Terminator: Dark Fate. Critics so far, from what I've seen, from what I've seen, I'm
Coming
sure
out November 1st.
coming out next week. I'm sure there's some critics that probably hate it, but from what I've seen nothing but positive reviews.
Nice.
Okay.
Because Cameron's back on board. Cameron's
He's a
essentially
producer.
Feige in this
He's
case.
a producer.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
not
I mean,
directing. He's not directing.
Right. But he's kind of like, look, here's how it should go. Let's eschew the other 3 movies. Let's pick it up.
So
with 2.
they basically retcon 3, Salvation, and the last one where it was like a soft reboot.
Sure.
They were doing
Genesis,
time. Yeah, Genesis when they're doing time travel and stuff.
Right, because they had Schwarzenegger in it again, right? Because he's not governor anymore, so he can be in the movie.
He turned into T2 at the end.
Turned into T2. Oh,
Yeah. So I would just retcon everything, okay, and then start over and hire somebody with Kevin Feige vision, and then
that's tough. You need that golden boy in there.
and everybody has their own origin story at first, and then you bring them together.
Of course, you don't want to rush this out the door. You don't want to do Batman v Superman.
They have the IP to make it work.
Of course they do.
They have the IP. They have the IP to make it work. The problem,
Batman's like
I know, but the problem
my
with,
favorite superhero.
The problem with Suicide Squad was they sort of had
the one of
4
many.
or 5. They had like 4 or 5 origin stories in this collaborate
in like a 2.5 hour movie. Yeah, no, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
By the time they got to the Avengers, everyone had even like Black Widow in Iron Man 2 had her origin story in a way. She was in there. Hawkeye was brought in like Thor or whatever, right? Like, it was, you knew these characters in a way, so you didn't have to do a lot of like exposition in the beginning to say like, I am here from wherever, and you knew that already, right? You do the introductions, this superhero meets this superhero, and then you're good.
Well, just like the Hulk, right? They had sort of the Hulk movies inside of other movies.
Yeah. Well, they had to. They had to for contractual obligations.
Well,
right?
they didn't have to. They just didn't. I guess they didn't want to deal with Universal because Universal has the rights to the standalone Hulk movie. We talked about that. But anyway, the Suicide Squad had all these origin stories, and it introduced the Joker, right?
Yep. A different Joker, not the Joaquin Joker, but the Jared Leto.
Let's
Joker.
Say it together. Let's say it together.
No.
Joaquin.
So there you go.
I can't stop saying Joaquin.
Saying it in that Joker voice too, which is pretty good. Joaquin.
Anyway, Jared Leto was pissed off though. I heard he was pissed off that like Joaquin's Joker, that actually got released. And I heard,
sure, because he thought that he was going to be the Joker.
Well, they promised him his own movie.
And this would have been it, but Suicide Squad tanked. So
he was really pissed at his agent in the studio.
They didn't fight harder for him.
Harder. Yeah, they didn't fight. Well, to be fair, half of WB's executives didn't want this movie to come out, and they like cut some of the budget.
For this Joker movie.
Yeah, because they thought they would tank it by like cutting the budget and stuff. They made it really hard to make this movie, and then the movie is the best R-rated super hero movie, even though he's not a super villain, but comic book movie of all time, right? Rated like Deadpool, even. Not Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds said something on
Twitter about
Twitter.
It?
Yeah, congratulating him for beating Deadpool's 2's box office.
That's
numbers.
Funny. Wow, there you go. See,
for R-rated status, top R-rated status.
Yeah, of course. You have to kind of make that distinction.
Yeah.
Well, it's also interesting too because Todd Phillips, the director, does not do these type of movies typically. I mean, he's the guy who did Road Trip. He did all 3 Hangover movies. He did Old School. Like he's a comedy guy through and through. And he does this apparently very good drama movie. You said it was really good. I know a lot of people have said that Joaquin's performance is like through the roof. Like he's like the star of the show.
Robert De Niro was awesome in it too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He played the talk show host, right?
He's essentially like not Jimmy Fallon. Who was before? Like Jay Leno.
Oh, Jay Leno style, yeah.
No, well, he wasn't Jay Leno.
Or like Carson.
Carson,
He was
yes,
like a Carson
yes.
type
He was like
guy,
a Carson.
because he was in the
type
70s.
guy. Well, yeah,
It felt like the 70s.
it felt like the 70s.
Right, yeah.
Right. So that's why if there was a Batman, he would be like in the 60s.
Yeah, it's funny.
Or 70s.
Yeah. It's funny, I forget the name of the movie, but De Niro played the role that Joaquin played, the struggling kind of comedian or whatever, or clown, trying to get famous, basically.
Yeah.
And he was in this Scorsese movie, I forget the name, but he basically played that role. And he was also like a little bit like crazy in the head.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I forgot the name of that movie. Yeah, okay.
Like Mr. Saturday Night? I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I remember that.
Right, which is weird, and I think that's maybe why they like wanted to get him in the role of the like Carson type.
But that sucks for Jared. I feel bad for Jared Leto. You know why?
Do you feel bad for Jared Leto? Come on, he was in Fight Club. He's all right.
No, but
he was in My So-Called Life.
I didn't think his interpretation of Joker, like the gangster Joker,
right,
was that bad. He was just in a bad movie.
Well,
he was the best part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I may not be saying much, but for the most part, I would have loved to see what him and Ben Affleck could do. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, I would have loved it. It's hard to retcon all of what DC has already done, right?
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman and Aquaman did so well.
Yeah.
And I know I've already been on record. I don't really like Aquaman movie that much. I mean, it was okay. It was fun for what it was.
It was a fine movie.
It was fun, but if it was an MCU, it'd be one of the worst rated movies.
Sure. It'd be Thor: The Dark World.
It would be Thor: The Dark World. If Thor: The Dark World was in the DCU, it would be like the best movie ever.
Of course it would.
It would be the best movie ever.
Because it's Marvel.
Yeah. I think they should have just ran with it and see, listen, if you're going to fail, go all the way. Just go all the way.
Sure.
And fail. But that's just my opinion. Because now it's hard to retcon because they're going to make another Aquaman movie. They're already going to make another Wonder Woman movie.
Because those are successful, yeah. So you want to build on the successes.
Yeah.
And just, try away the...
Superman and Batman just don't exist anymore.
No. Justice League? Nah. Suicide Squad? Nah.
Yeah. So,
even though they are doing a sequel to Suicide Squad, so...
Yeah, and it's a sequel, not a it's a sequel / soft reboot. So,
right.
Which is weird. I don't know. DC's all over the place.
It is. It's terrible.
But anyway, I don't want to talk... Let's not talk about that mess. Let's talk about a trailer for something that I was like, this is fantastic, but it could just be the trailer that makes it look fantastic. The movie could suck, but who knows?
Fast and the Furious Part 9?
The trailer's out yet?
No.
Oh.
But I'm only saying that because Vin Diesel's in this movie.
Bloodshot. I'm going to talk about comic book movies.
Yeah.
All right. This is a new comic book movie from... Who's it? It's not from Image Comics.
Valiant Comics is the one.
Valiant
Comics. I had to look it up, too, because I wasn't sure if it was a DC or a Marvel property. This is like
a modern RoboCop. Mm-hmm. Because he's a soldier. He's dead. Well, it's like Universal Soldier meets RoboCop.
That is a blast from the past.
Universal Soldier meets RoboCop.
Wow.
So it's like, he's dead. Mm-hmm. He's one of those high level soldiers who's like he can really fight and he's a really great soldier. He dies in combat, but he doesn't. They save him, I guess, or bring him back to life and put the nanobots in him.
They can rebuild him, and they do rebuild him.
So he's like like the Bionic Six. Mm-hmm. He can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
So he gets shot. His skin grows back, regenerates, and I think from the trailer they plant like false memory in his brain.
See, it's a little different than RoboCop.
Yes.
Because RoboCop gets his memory wiped, but doesn't, so he still like gets flashbacks of his previous life.
Yeah, so they put memories in his head to make him... So like they want to kill somebody. They want to assassinate... maybe he's a bad guy, maybe he's not a bad guy.
Sure.
We don't know. We have to see the movie.
Yeah.
And they put these false memories in the head of saying this bad guy killed the love of your life.
Sure.
So that gives
technology gone wrong.
So that gives you incentive to go kill this person.
Yeah.
Use all your skills
because you don't know, because you're an autonomous, semi-autonomous robot, right? And you're like, well, here's what I'm programmed to do. I'm going to go ahead and do that, right? If you have any sort of morality or whatever, you have this memory of this dude who's doing something bad. It's like, I'm going to go kill this guy. Yeah. And then somewhere along the way...
I need to avenge her death.
Right,
my
exactly.
wife, he killed my wife.
Right, exactly.
Oh, wait. Your wife's not even dead.
Right. Somewhere along the line, he gets that turn, and he's like, uh-oh.
And it's like, what do you remember? He's like, nothing. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks. The trailer looks good. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna say I don't care what the critics say. I like Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
I'm a big Vin Diesel fan.
he's a fun dude. He's a fun dude. He also plays D&D. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah, she's a straight up nerd.
That is a fun fact. I didn't even know.
Also, his first acting gig is a commercial for Street Sharks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was a breakdancer back in the day.
He was. Yeah,
He had
yeah,
hair.
Yeah.
I know that. I used to have hair too.
It's funny because, like, you see him in the Street Shark commercial, he's like super not jacked, right? He's not like he is now.
Well, he was like a kid.
I know. Yeah.
And he was in Saving Private Ryan.
Yes, he was. He was great in that movie.
That was like his first movie role.
You're right. Then he did the Boiler Room after that.
Oh, Boiler Room was fantastic. That made me want to be a
stockbroker.
Stockbroker. And then
Didn't they get taken down in the end?
Because they were corrupt stockbrokers.
Well, yeah,
stocks.
but it's like, I want all the money and the fame, but I also don't want to deal with the downfall of getting caught.
No, I just want to be like not Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, they also got caught.
All right, I just don't.
His whole organization went down.
I don't want to get caught though.
You're bringing up all these like scenarios where people got.
I'm gonna be like Charlie Sheen.
All right,
moving on. Minus the personal stuff, I'm going to be like him in the movie.
You want to be the protege.
Yeah. I just want to get caught though. Mm-hmm. Come on, this exciting life.
I mean, sure, if you don't get caught. Anyway,
all right. Since this is the last episode in October, you know what we do. Let's go over the most notable games coming out in November. Mm-hmm. Let's start with a game that I am looking forward to.
The most notable
every
game,
year.
The most notable game in our eyes.
Every year, I'm looking forward to.
That's right.
And every year I say this. Hopefully, this is the last damn Wii game to come out.
Mm-hmm. The answer is no.
Because I keep spending the $60.
I don't know why you spend $60. I don't know why you wait till it goes on sale.
Because it's sold out. You can't buy Just Dance 2019 anymore.
Dan,
you can find it. Maybe you can find it. Maybe
I've found it.
First of all, who's still playing the Wii in 2019?
Obviously, people are. We've talked about this. They have analytics. They know sales numbers.
All right. So Just Dance 2020 is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Stadia, and the Wii November 5th.
The Wii U?
Not the Wii U.
Oh,
maybe
Nintendo.
Maybe digitally.
Sorry, Nintendo.
November 5th.
See, the analytics prove it out that nobody bought the Wii U.
14 million people, brother.
Yeah, worldwide, it's yeah.
Come on.
Not a lot.
Well, you know what? How about this? Mm-hmm. If you buy it on a Wii, it is backwards compatible on the Wii U. Because the Wii U is just a souped up
Technically,
Wii.
Yeah, technically that would work.
That is true. That's why they keep putting it out on the Wii.
I see, right?
A game I'm looking forward to that day, the same day, coming out the same day, November 5th. I don't know. It's going to be a toss-up which one I'm going to wait in line for.
Oh, boy.
It may be a line outside the door to get one of these games.
Yeah.
That is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020.
Oh, yeah, right. It started off with the London Games 2012, I think, right? Or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, maybe Vancouver. No, I think London may have been the first one.
But this game,
Vancouver 2010.
But this game, is actually this is the first Olympic Games I think people have been looking forward to because you could play like 8-bit style, right? Remember?
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like the 8-bit style versus the regular models.
The modern style. That's right. I think we brought this up a while ago.
So it's coming out on the Switch, exclusive November 5th.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing that gets me. Sonic is like the fastest creature, right? He's like super speed and all that, right? Got to go fast. Any sort of like meter race, any sort of marathon, any sort of whatever, why would you not pick Sonic? Why would Sonic not always win? Doesn't make any sense.
Because he just goes too fast for his own good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, there is no regulator. Like, you go as fast as you humanly can, or hedgehogically can. I don't know. You use your own abilities, as long as you're not taking drugs or anything.
I take Mario and a Ferrari over Sonic.
But that's not the option. This is not a kart racing game, Dan.
I take the original Mario in a Ferrari over.
Yeah, but you don't have carts though. There are no carts.
We don't know. It's a game. It's a video game. I can do whatever I want.
Obviously not. They did not program.
You know what? If you have Sonic running and you're 8-bit Mario, just hit him with a fireball.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
See?
I feel like that's okay. Well, no,
It's okay.
no, because the fire flower would probably be considered illegal drug. Performance enhancing. Yeah,
drugs.
exactly. You can't do that. You can't do that. Can't be taking mushrooms to get an advantage. That's definitely outside of the scope.
All right. Well, a game I know you're looking forward to. Talk about kart racing. November 7th, 2 days later.
That's right.
Coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, not Stadia. Weirdly enough.
Out.
Should come out on a Wii.
I know.
People will probably still buy it.
Come out on the 3DS.
And that is actually that's true. 3DS not dead. And that is Garfield Kart Furious Racing.
Oh my God! They have had. I think I know they've had at least one, if not multiple, Garfield kart games, and they're terrible. Why? Who still likes Garfield?
You.
Are kids crazy about Garfield?
RGT85 is super excited for this game. This was his most anticipated game of November.
Did he make a whole video on it?
He did. He actually did make a video. He's like
That's crazy.
Most anticipated game of November.
Right. I mean, these games are like super cheap. They're budget titles. They have the brand recognition tie-in to Garfield, which I guess is still strong.
You know what I'm going to buy? You know what I'm going to buy on November 7th? I'm going to buy Garfield.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy Nickelodeon Kart Racer.
Nickelodeon Kart Racer. For the PS1?
All on the Switch.
Oh, on the Switch? Wait. The Nickelodeon Kart Racer on the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh,
it came out on all systems.
It did. You're gonna buy it for the Switch.
I'm buying it for the Switch.
And you're gonna play that. You're gonna play that over Crash Team Racing. You're gonna play that over Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You're gonna play that over I don't know, Fast RMX.
Yeah, you know why?
You're gonna play that over. I could keep going.
You can keep going. You know why? Because I beat all those games already.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
You can still keep playing them.
No, I'm good. I beat those games
Oh my
already.
God, you can just start up a new Grand Prix and have another 4 races.
I want to play SpongeBob, okay? In the cart.
Oh man,
So,
that's funny.
All right. A game. All right. So let's just be serious.
Yeah.
1 day later,
Uh-huh.
from RGT85's most anticipated game of November, coming out November 8th, exclusive to PS4, and it has Death Stranding.
So, 2 of these games are coming out. Well, okay, Garfield Kart Racer coming out a day before on Thursday, because they want to get that kart money. They don't want to be overshadowed by Death Stranding, so they come out a day earlier. That's very good. And then 2 days earlier, Just Dance and Mario and Sonic to not be overshadowed by Death Stranding. This is a good strategy on their part.
I got to be honest. I told you when we talked about this about most anticipated games coming out this holiday season. I was on the fence with Death Stranding.
I know, because you didn't know anything. You were like, I don't know what the hell this game is about. I am not sold on this universe yet. I don't know what I'm doing in this game.
I don't even know what I'm doing. It's
Kojima.
It's a new genre.
Has Kojima not proved his mettle?
His metal? Is that no pun intended?
METTLE. He proved his worth.
I'm not even a big Metal Gear fan. I'm not even a big Metal Gear fan because it's mostly sort of stealth
mechanics.
Yeah,
well, that's the whole point of the game. Well, that's understandable. That's
when
understandable.
Metal Gear Solid came out. I remember when Metal Gear Solid came out.
But you know they're good
PlayStation,
games.
On PlayStation.
PS1.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
the original.
On the original
Metal Gear
PlayStation.
Solid. Yeah.
I didn't play it, but I watched somebody play it, and I helped them out. I was like, go around.
Sure.
So, it was Twitch before it was Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And I watched somebody play it, and it was great, but I couldn't play it because
you don't like the waiting and the stealth and the hiding
I don't like
out
having
and,
impatience.
I get that.
Playing the game myself.
But you knew the games were good, and you were intrigued by the game world.
It was fantastic.
You know this doesn't have stealth mechanics as far as
I guess you can play it any way you want. I mean, it's a new type of genre, but the only thing I know about this game is that Jeff Keighley and Conan O'Brien are digitized in this game.
Sure. Dude, everybody who's anybody is in this game. What's his name? Guillermo del Toro is in this game. All right?
Yeah.
It's insane.
But all right, so Embargo is up November 1st. So we'll have the scores, right? A week before the game comes out, which is a good sign, right? A lot of times,
fantastic.
A lot of times they know how this game is going to score because they do test runs, and they know that the game is, we got something on our hands or something bad on our hands where you can push back the embargo to the day of release.
Right.
But I think somebody already broke embargo accidentally and said that this game was the greatest game they've ever played in their life.
It is.
Or the greatest game of this generation.
Okay.
I think. It was the greatest game of this generation. I think that's what they said.
Okay, it is already on my Game of the Year list, and I haven't played this game
Oh my
yet.
God.
So,
All right,
boom. There you go.
This is a reverse order 1886.
It is. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The only game to be nominated before it gets released, Death Stranding, because Kojima is God.
You know what?
All
You know
right?
what? Do you want to make history? Do you want to nominate?
We just
this?
did.
Do you want to nominate? Do you want to make more history? Do you want to nominate this game for Game of the Year 2020? It's not even released yet in 2019.
No, we can't do that now. We can't do that now. The Order 1886 holds a special place.
Okay.
But I am going to throw it. No. Here and now, my first nominee for Game of the Year, and I haven't even played this game yet. And I wouldn't do this with any other game. I wouldn't do this if it was not a Kojima production. I wouldn't do this if they did not digitize Conan O'Brien and Jeff Keighley and have Guillermo del Toro in this game. And
piss on a
fucking-
mushroom and make it super big.
Right. You know, you're never going to be able to do that in like any other game. All right. Here and now, my first nominee for Game of the Year is Death Stranding.
Oh my God.
You've heard it here.
Oh, wow.
And you know what, Dan? You can quote me on that. If I go back, if I renege on this, all right, a Shake Shack meal is on me, all right?
Okay.
If I say at the end of the year, you know what, I made a mistake, this game is not my Game of the Year, I have to go back on it. And that's something I will do if I don't think this game is Game of the Year material. You will get a Shake Shack bet.
Okay.
But I am saying now, Game of the Year nominee.
All right. Well, I already know what's going to win the Game of the Year, the Video Game Award.
I know. I think it kind of has to. All right. When you're the guy who's running the damn Game of the Year awards is digitized in a game and is friends with Kojima.
He has to remove himself. He has to remove himself from the voting process.
Yes. He has to recuse. Right. That's the word. He has to recuse himself.
All right. Let's move on. Same. I don't know. This is going to be a toss-up. What are you going to wait in line for? Death Stranding, November 8th. Or also coming out November 8th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Need for Speed Heat.
Interesting. No. Death Stranding. I don't think I've played a Need for Speed game in a while.
Well, you know
no
what?
offense to Need for Speed.
Maybe you buy Death Stranding and buy Need for Speed for Xbox. Because Death Stranding is going to be in PS4. No.
Well, it is also coming out for PC. But yeah, no, it's definitely a console.
If you're a console, yeah.
It's a console game.
All right, again, or you know what? How about this? So you get the trifecta. You get Death Stranding for PS4. You get Need for Speed for the Xbox One, and also coming out November 8th. November 8th is a big day. Also coming out on the Switch, you get new Super Lucky's Tale.
Nah, you lost me after Death Stranding, Dan. I jumped off the train. I'm sorry. I could not make the next step.
I'm buying it. This is like the definitive edition, right? Because this is a platformer that I got that was exclusive for the
3D
Xbox.
platformer, yeah.
Love it. Well, not love it. I'll take the back. I really liked it. I got like halfway into the game and it's just like, all right. I would have, Nintendo 64 me would have loved this game.
Oh yeah, because it's Banjo without Banjo.
It's what happens when you put Tails in the Banjo universe.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah. All
right. Tails with one tail, not two tails. So I think and everything's going to be in a cart. I think we talked about this. So this is definitely
No
the definitive
downloads.
edition. No downloads.
They're going big.
I would say wait for Black Friday.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Okay.
Death Stranding is going to be a day one buy.
A week later, I think the whole video game world's going to go bananas, go crazy.
Brand new Pokemon games.
Brand new Pokemon games. November 15th. Shield.
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield. Why do people say Sword and Shield? Why can't it be Shield and Sword?
Because nobody likes to be on the defensive. You want to be on the offensive.
I did say I was going to buy the sword one, right? Yeah,
I think so,
I did say that.
I mean, they're essentially the same, different. Oh, geez, I don't even want to. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. But I think it's different monsters in each game. Maybe is the difference. Typically, the Pokedex or the amount of creatures that you can get in the game is different.
I will be buying this. I will be buying Sword. Just like I bought
What about Shield? Not going to give any Shield love?
Well, I didn't give Eevee any love on Pokemon Go. Let's go.
I mean, you'll get it now, right? If it's $10.
It's still Pokemon games don't go down in price.
Well, the Switch tax. No, but if you find it in Goodwill for like $10,
I won't because they don't go down in price.
You'll find it at Goodwill. Goodwill prices games at like $5-10.
They don't go in Goodwill.
Actually, no, I have yet to see a Switch game at a Goodwill.
I've yet to see a Pokemon game at Goodwill.
Oh, I've seen tons of Pokemon games. Yeah.
Oh, then pick it up for me, man.
I've got all of my Pokemon. Well, I get them from me, damn it. although
so selfish. You're such a selfish collector.
Although, speaking of which, I do have a Pokemon game that you probably don't have.
I 100% don't have it.
That you probably want, and we can definitely. I'll mention it in the pickups that we're going to get into in just a little bit. So yeah, I can give you one of my Pokemon games.
All right. A game that I think may be Game of the Year material, we yet to see, I'm not going to nominate it yet, is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, PC. Also, the same day as Pokemon, November 15th. Okay, so I'm going to have to pick this game up for PS4. This and Pokemon Sword.
So you're gonna get Pokemon. You're gonna play Pokemon for an hour, and then you're gonna switch over to Star Wars. Why even bother with Pokemon?
Switch. Because I'm going to switch over.
Again, $60 for a game you're not going to play that much.
I'm going to play 2 hours.
I just don't get it. I don't see.
I'm going to give it the college try. I want to be a part of the conversation. I'm going to say I caught him too, and I won that battle. I mean, lost that battle.
Sure. It's fair. You want to get a first-hand account of it. You may really like it. Probably not, but
I wonder if I can use the Pokeball controller.
They haven't said anything about that, so I would say no, but I don't know.
I spent all that money for that special edition.
I know.
For the Pokemon. And last but not least, a game that I don't know if it's widely anticipated. It was at one point widely anticipated, but it's lost its luster because I even forgot this game was coming out this year. It's coming out for PS4 and PC November 19th, and that is Shenmue 3.
Yep. It's probably a wait and see for me. I didn't even buy the remastered.
Collection? I bought the collection.
Have you played it?
It's boring.
Sure.
And we at some point we'll talk about it later on about playing the game when it comes out to get the full effect, right? Because like going back to play certain games, it just doesn't have that same effect on you.
Well, right? it was revolutionary at the time. It was one of the first like open world games you can kind of do anything, run around town. It was like it was a life simulator. You had to figure out what happened to your father, I think, right? And it was a whole big like murder mystery thing that unraveled, and you traveled around. You went to China at one point. Like,
it was boring. It was boring. I was playing it. It was a little boring.
Right. But I mean, like, it was still monumental for its time, right? It was the first game that really kind of like brought all these things together that were typically like, point and click adventure games back in the day. But it was like now it's like all open in 3D, and you can interrogate people and talk to people and like figure out stuff. You have a job, which I get it, is very boring. You have to like
you got to work. I don't even want to work in reality.
You have to work and get money.
I don't even want to work in reality.
I know. See?
It's supposed to give me an escape.
The game is not for everybody.
This game is supposed to be an escape for me, not real.
Yeah. That's fair.
Well, all right. So you want to know, this is not games that are coming out. This is a game that is already out.
No.
It's a game that's already out that I'm not going to pick up until it's $10.
It definitely needed some more time in the hopper.
And that is WWE 2K20, which is a shit fire. So WWE 2018 had the Switch game that was broken, essentially, right? And I have that game.
Yeah.
I do have
it's
that
terrible.
Game. I have that game. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
This game seems to be along those lines, if not maybe a little bit worse, because you got referees going through the floor, going through people's crotches.
Yeah, I had to post a story up because it's just like, how could you put this game out? How could you put this game out early? Like, it's obviously unfinished, right? It has so many damn game glitches. Like, the game is basically unplayable.
Maybe the worst game of 2020. I mean, 2019.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me the worst game of 2022.
We could definitely nominate it, yeah.
I'll nominate it for worst game for this year and next year.
Right. You look at, like, the character creator, and, like, everything's just, like, clipping into each other. Like, everyone's, like, falling through the floor, like you said. Like, it's terrible.
What? Remember, the studio split. The original studio that was working on this since SmackDown.
Well, it used to be Ukes. Yeah, Ukes was the big one. Yeah.
They split because they didn't like the direction of this. So, they split what? It was around the summertime, right?
I think so, yeah.
Around summertime, maybe either before the summer, maybe E3-ish. They split. I can see this had an effect on it, right? Ukes know they know what they're doing. They've been doing it since
They've been making
the original
consistently
SmackDown.
good SmackDown games or wrestling games.
Yeah, so they leave sort of when the game is being polished and has all these bugs now.
Yep.
It shows that they know what they're doing, and they left the game in the hands of people who have sort of just been on the sidelines helping with the game, not actually at the forefront developing the game.
Right.
So this makes me sort of excited for what Ukes
Is going to do next?
Yeah, and I hope
You want them to do an AEW wrestling game. I understand. So do I. I think it'd be awesome.
And be different than the 2K games.
Right.
Please.
Right. Maybe get back to the golden days of the Aki games on the N64.
And I hope this, I mean, listen, nothing against you, 2K and the studio that's developing, that was helping develop this game. I hope this brings them back to the drawing board to do something different too, right? Because every year, the only difference is
Updated roster.
Sure. And entrances.
Right. Slightly better graphics, maybe. I mean, the engine's probably same engine over and over again, you know. They make small tweaks to it here and there.
Yeah, they try to annualize it to do Madden.
Right, exactly.
And they put no creativity.
I know.
And it used to
sad.
be, well, they used to have the career mode. Well, not the career mode in the sense of where you create a new player. I mean, they have a career mode where you create a new player and you're a new wrestler going up in the ranks. But they actually had where you play through someone like a Shawn Michaels career mode where you play
it'd be like a story. Yeah.
You play all the Shawn Michaels big matches and stuff. Yeah,
through his career.
Yeah, and then I had the Attitude Era. I think the Attitude Era was like the last one they had a couple of years ago.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I didn't hear anything about, at least they didn't promote it that way, and about any of the other games the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So I won't be picking that game up. But, Dave, I did pick up a bunch of games this week.
Oh, Dad. Why don't you fill me in on the games you picked up?
So I got River City Girls. I said Riverside. Riverside? No, River City Girls Switch. On a Switch. That came from Limited Run. I forgot I ordered that game.
Yeah.
But that came pretty fast because I ordered that in September.
Same. Yeah.
So
it's the sequel to River City Ransom
or River City Melee.
Well, that too, but yeah, I mean River City Ransom Melee, I think is the update to the old Nintendo one where you had to save your girlfriends. Now it's a role reversal. Your girlfriends have to save you because you got kidnapped. Yeah, which is great.
I picked up Concrete Genie for the PS4. Didn't think I was going to pick that up, but it was like $30, so like, why not? Call of Duty Modern Warfare for the Xbox One. I got Yooka-Laylee, The Impossible Lair for Xbox One.
That is the 2D version.
Not the 2D
not version. The 3D one that's coming out on the Switch, but the 2D. Not a demake, but I don't know. I guess it's a sequel, but it's a 2D or 2.5D.
I got the game for like $7. First of all, it's sold out on Amazon. If you go to Amazon for any console, Switch, I was looking for it for the Switch, Xbox One, PS4, so sold out. However, when I went to Best Buy to pick up Outer Worlds and Call of Duty, for some reason they gave me like a $25 gift card.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, wow, you got Yooka-Laylee for Switch? And I was like, nope. And I was like, PS4? Nope. Xbox One? Yep, we got one left. And I was like, all right, well, I'll pick that up. And so I got that for $7. I used my gift card.
Nice.
I got my Lukey Haul in, too. So my Lukey Haul, Metal Slug 4 and 5 for the PS2.
Nice.
I love the Metal Slug series.
They're great.
They're fantastic.
Amazing pixel art.
Yeah.
Possibly some of the best.
I picked up Scarface Money, Power, Respect on the PSP. I forgot this game came out.
Yeah, everyone did, Dan. It's terrible.
Well, that's why I got it for the PSP.
Jesus.
And I got some Genesis, like complete in-box games. Outrun 2019.
Nice.
Which is weird. I got a Genesis game with the 2019, actually Outrun 2019.
You had to get it because it was this
2019.
Year, yeah. Because it was the future.
It's the future.
I mean, technically,
we don't have any flying cars. We don't have any flying cars though. Still.
We don't, but we're getting there.
You're thinking.
Well, drones. We have the drones.
Yeah, but they're not cars.
It's a first start.
Well, they don't have wheels on them. They put wheels on them, then it'll be flying cars.
We can make that happen.
I picked Decapped Attack on Genesis.
Speaking of Halloween, yeah.
Halloween.
You play as a mummy and you use your
you
head.
do.
Yeah.
So I got that. That was pretty fun. What about you? You any good pickups this week?
I did, Dan. Some of our pickups are going to overlap. I also picked up River City Girls because you have to. It's a new beat 'em up game for 2019, and the conceit is great. Outer Wilds. I put Wilds. Worlds. It's too many outer games. The Outer Worlds for Xbox One. I picked up a red 3DS, which was great. Picked up Pokemon Y for the 3DS, but I have it already. Got it in a bundle, so that's the game if you want, Dan.
Yeah.
I
gotta look to see if I have
gladly
it already.
trade. Maybe not. Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask for the 3DS. Paper Mario Sticker Star for the 3DS. Kid Icarus Uprising. Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS.
Kid Icarus, you gotta get that. You gotta get the stand that came with it.
Oh, I don't have that.
You gotta get the stand, and you gotta get the
little statue, a pit.
No. It was like it came with a stand just because of how you play, and you should play it with that. Remember they had the power pad or whatever you put the 3DS in, so you can have the stick.
Oh, the little thing that hangs over the side?
No. They had like the power pad that you put in, and you can use the stick for the 3DS games.
Okay, sure.
That's like the best way to play that game because it's so weird.
You'll have to fill me in after the show. I'm not too sure, but anyway, yeah. So I picked all that up. It's a pretty good weekend. Oh, also
Circle Pad Pro. The
Circle Pad Pro. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It attaches to the side. That's what I said.
It's not the side.
It is.
You got to put the whole thing in.
All right, whatever. We're talking about
you put the whole console.
Whatever. It's a little thing that sits on the side.
It has the thumbstick on the side.
That sits on the side of the system.
The thumbstick sticks on the side, but you got to put the whole system into the thing.
We were just talking about the thumbstick. All right, whatever.
Well, it was stupid because you're so bulky because you got to put the whole system into.
Right. Yeah. It's a whole new shell casing.
And the shell casing needs batteries too for the thumbstick to work, which is a whole debacle.
That's terrible. Also, there was a very good minimum half off sale at the Complete Strategist over in Midtown. It's a very good board game shop, and they were basically getting rid of. It was their ding and dent sale, right? So it was games that were kind of gently used, or the boxes were a little bit broken, or whatever. Everything was at least 50% off. So I picked up a bunch of good stuff there, and I finally have Cards Against Humanity because everyone needs a horrible card game for adults in their collection.
Gotcha. So. I don't have it.
Nah, well there you go. I should have picked you one up. We only worked out to like $12 to get like the big like extended box set.
Yeah. Well, talking about what everybody should have in their collection. Mm-hmm. Everybody should have a Gen 1 NES inbox game with the original sticker, Nintendo sticker. First of all, if I had that in my collection, that'd be worth like $500,000. Right? That'd be because it's like the original games that they sold at like FOA Shorts when they first sold the video games.
That's right. When they were only in New York and California.
Yeah.
They opened it. Actually, maybe even just New York. Opened in very limited supply in like 85.
Only if I can go back in time and tell my mom to go to FOA Shorts and just spend the money. Just spend the money. It's okay. It was only how much were they back in the day when they first came out? $60.
What's that?
They weren't $60.
The games?
Yeah.
I want to say 50. I bet they were like 50.
Well, for inflation, that was probably worth like 80 in today's money.
Oh, well, yeah. No, I guess that's actually kind of true. It's weird how that kind of works. They were probably like 40 or 50. I mean, the game came with Mario Brothers, so, you wouldn't buy that separately in that case.
Unless you bought the system by itself.
I don't know if they...
Because they did sell Mario by itself.
Did they?
Yeah, we talked about the Mario game that was sold for like $1 million because it had the original seal on it.
I didn't... Well, yeah, but I didn't think that was like... I didn't think that came out like that holiday. Maybe. I don't know.
Because they had the original sticker on it. How long did they print it with the original black sticker at the top?
I assume
First of all, who keeps these things and who buys these games and not open it?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, speaking of games that you don't open and you don't open, when I ended up buying the 3DS lot, like Paper Mario was sealed. And this was a kid who was a gamer. Like his 3DS was used.
That's crazy.
He didn't open the Paper Mario game, so it happens.
It does. No, it does. It does. Well, this guy's a dentist, and this guy bought a bunch of NES games for $1 million.
I'm upset about this story. I'm upset by the story a little bit.
Don't hate on the guy.
I am.
I'm not gonna hate on the guy. He bought Mario Brothers, the arcade classic series, and what was it, Gunshoe?
Gumshoe, yeah, Gumshoe. One of the original black box games for Nintendo. I mean, look, the games are what they are. The prices are what they are. Whether this guy's a gamer or not, I think
he loves. From what I read, I mean, I don't know what's in his heart, and you never know what's in his heart. But he looks like he seems to be a genuine gamer. He looks super excited.
I mean, I hope so.
To buy these things for me for $1 million. He better look super excited.
I hope so, because he's not gonna crack these games open and play these games, right?
No,
it's not why you buy.
He's giving
these
him
games.
a good home. I'm sure he has a good collection.
I hope so. Like it to me, like if you say, hey, I want to get into collecting, right, and you have a lot of money, you can get a instant collection. You can go on eBay and someone's selling their collection for $10, $20, $30, $100,000, and you can go, yes, I want it. Yes, I'll pay the $1,000 shipping or whatever, and then you have an instant collection, right? But there's no, what was the effort involved?
Well, look,
you just have a bunch of money and you just put it out there.
Yeah, but look, haggling, we haggle because we have to.
That's part of it.
We don't have infinite money.
But it's fun though, too.
It can be fun.
Yeah.
But if I had the money, if I had $100 million in the bank, and I said, you know what, I want to get that first run of Super Mario Brothers for $1 million.
Right.
I would buy it.
Well,
I would just buy it.
That's a different story.
And give it a good home,
because that game is always going to be that price.
But a collector is in my view, a collector is a collector. So everybody's collection is different. It's like a fingerprint. No collection is similar. Yeah. No collection would be the same. Similar, but not the same. Mm-hmm. If you love games and you have the means...
but what is the fingerprint for the guy who bought it off eBay? That's somebody else's fingerprint that he bought.
No, his fingerprint, his collection is going to look different than everybody else's collection.
But if he buys someone else's collection and he says, "Now I got an instant collection, I'm good."
Then yeah, he has an instant collection, which he will
That's somebody else's fingerprint, though.
No, it's his fingerprint now. It's now his fingerprint.
He bought somebody else's fingerprint.
He bought somebody else's fingerprint, and now he's making it into his own because he will grow that. He will grow it.
Maybe he's going to buy other people's fingerprints and make one giant Thanos fingerprint.
Oh God! All right, here we go. Well, I'm not going to hate the guy. He loves games, and he's giving games a good home. So
I mean, sure.
But Dave, the part of the show that I know you love so much.
I know.
We always try to do at the beginning of the show, but epically fail. Mm-hmm. Dave, what have you been playing?
Ooh, I think we have a new record, Dan. Gotta ring the bell on this one. It is probably the longest we've taken to get into this segment right here.
No. Right. I think when we first had this segment, it was like I think at the end of the show.
Oh, maybe. Well, that's a different story.
When we first started doing the show, it was like at the end of the show. And we always try to start, but it's like an hour in.
Yeah, right. What have
you been playing, Dave?
Well, I mean, Dan, I've got the trifecta right now. I'm playing River City Girls on the Switch. I'm playing Outer Wilds. I put the Outer Wilds again. Outer Worlds on the Xbox One, and Dragon Quest XI on the PS4. That is the trifecta. I've got all three systems in full rotation.
Well, how do you like that Outer Worlds game?
Well,
wow, you were all about this game.
I mean, I was all about it because it looked really cool, and it had like a lot of good.
How much time have you played of it yet?
Oh, I played like a good 3-4 hours so far. Trust me, I am definitely into the game. It feels like a Fallout game through and through. It has a lot of the same systems. It's just kind of tweaked to make it non-suable, right? It's different enough to where it's like, okay, like it has shades of Fallout, and there's the whole perk system and all that, and different abilities and skills, but it's still like Fallout, in a way. I like it, but it's a little bit rough around the edges.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a day one patch that was like 37 gigs.
Oh, God.
It wasn't... You could play without it. I finally downloaded the patch and started playing it again. Graphics are a little bit rough. The animations are very rough. I still enjoy it. I'm probably going to take it to completion, finish the game, but...
Okay.
It's all right. And, like Dragon Quest, I'm still, like, plowing through. And River City Girls is the perfect game to play on the subway. For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
how about you?
I have a trifecta and a half.
Okay.
So, I broke open River City Girls. Mm-hmm. I played it a little bit. Mm-hmm. I can't give it... I mean, it's just a really good beat 'em up. I haven't really put too much time into it. I want to say I put, like, maybe... I got past the first level. I beat the big boss at the first level. And that's all right now. I've been playing Concrete Genie, just because I was super interested in.
It's a VR game, though.
No, you don't have to be in VR.
Dan, the whole point of playing the Concrete Genie game is to play it in VR. You scribble on the walls. It's like you're in this world and you get to like draw on the concrete.
Yeah,
without actually any.
But you need the controller to wave the
the
brush.
Like the move controller. Sure.
No, you don't need the move. Well, just without VR, you could use your regular DualShock 4.
Sure.
And move the brush that way.
Sure.
I'm probably not going to play this in VR, to be honest.
Oh, my God. Why did you buy the VR system?
To play the VR demo games that came out when they first came out.
I mean,
I wanted to see the shark.
I know. I get it, too. It is a little bit cumbersome trying to set that whole thing up. And if you don't have it set up...
I want the PSVR Go when it comes out for the PS5.
Right. You want the thing with 0 wires.
I want the thing with 0 wires.
I understand.
So Concrete Genie... I think I played like an hour of that too. That's pretty good. I want to get back into that. Probably beat that. The thing that I've really been playing or trying to play, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the Xbox One. But here's my issue. All right, here is my gamer grief.
Oh boy, bring it back.
Bring in a gamer grief.
Bring it back.
I popped this in. Automatic needs 5 download packs to play the game. I popped this disc in at 9:00. It was like 12:30, still not fully downloaded. And you need the multiplayer to play the game too.
That's right.
You need everything downloaded to play the stupid campaign. I went to sleep and had to leave it on all night.
That's terrible.
And I woke up Saturday morning to play the game. It was ridiculous. I want to know, because on the Xbox box, it says download required.
That's right. Yeah.
It doesn't say that on the PS4 box. So my question is, people who bought Call of Duty for PS4, did they had to wait 20 hours to play this damn game? Did you need to download 5 download packs to play this game?
I wouldn't think otherwise. It may have just been a printing error. In that case.
I hope. Well, when this game is $10, which it inevitably will be, I'm gonna buy this just to test it out. Jesus. So I can have the game.
Committed to the craft.
So I can say
you're committed to the craft.
So I can have the game, right?
Yeah.
Because if something happens,
well, that too.
And like this, I have a brick disc that can't work if I can't download it.
Right.
Right. It's like it's not even a day one patch to fix things. It's the game.
Right.
It's like half the game.
It's crucial.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox can do Blu-ray discs, right? Which is 25 gigs. A dual layer Blu-ray disc is 50 gigs. It's not a space constraint. I don't know. Maybe they went gold with the game, and then they had all this other stuff, and they're like, well,
I'm
just make them download.
I'm halfway through the game. I can see some of the controversial parts, which I don't really talk about. Semi-controversial parts that they were talking about when they had demos played at E3. I don't find it very controversial. It's war, right? It doesn't really take it to. It doesn't take it that far, in my view.
Well,
the issue I really had was when they took a hostage. You had like 3 seconds to make a decision whether the hostage is dead.
Ooh, well, that's something new,
right? Like it was just like they took the person hostage with the gun to the head, and it's just like put the gun down, and they killed the hostage.
Right.
So after that, now I just clip the hostage and then kill the guy.
But
you can kill the hostage too, by the way.
And it just won't game over on you?
No.
See, that's awesome.
It does game over if you shoot random people.
Sure, if you particularly shoot random. Yeah,
because there's one point in the game where you're walking through like a hospital and you have random people on tables, right? And you don't know who's an enemy and who's not. Right,
because everyone's wearing the same clothing and this and that. No one's brandishing a weapon,
and the guy just jumps up with a gun and you shoot him. Right, so he kept killing me.
It's just like Lethal Enforcers back in the day.
So I thought the guy I was killing everybody in the bed, and it was just like game over because no friendly fire will be accepted here.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I got to be on my my P's and Q's through this game.
That had to affect you a little bit, no? Like the first time seeing that.
It's a video game. I can.
It can still be affecting.
It didn't affect me at all because it's a video game. I can separate reality and games.
But it's still like okay. Like when I the first time I played BioShock and the whole thing with the little sisters. really like shook me a little bit, right? Because I didn't necessarily know like if the Little Sisters were good or bad, if I should save them or not save them, right? And that kind of got to me. I realized the mechanics behind the scenes and like eventually what the gameplay wise, what like the proper thing to do is. And like that kind of aligned with like my morals a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I could just do this. This is the optimal way to play the game. And like it kind of took a little bit out of it. But like the first time I saw it, I was like, woof. It was a little much. Even though, sure, it is a game and it's just like fantasy, but I don't know, it got to me.
To me, it didn't get to me at all because I know I'm playing a video game. Mm-hmm. I don't want to kill any of the hostages or anything like that.
Right.
You know, I don't. You can accidentally hit people, right? Which I did by accident because there's one scene where people are running and the terrorists are behind them.
Right.
Right, and I actually killed somebody by accident because I was just shooting.
Dan, you're heartless.
Well, it was a game over. It was a game over.
Okay.
So I got a game over twice because like they're running. It's explosions,
right.
And the terrorists are shooting me from behind them.
Right.
And it was hard to see.
Right.
So I was like, all right, so I gotta make sure everyone's running out, runs out first before I shoot.
Right.
But that's still dangerous because those guys are coming at me.
Right.
They're running at me too. So
you're gonna put your life in danger. It's like
so it wasn't. It didn't get me from a moral standpoint because I know it's a video game and I wouldn't do this in real life. However, it got me to strategically attack. Like I had to really think about how I was going to attack it. So I had to come up with a strategy. But would I say a trifecta and a half? Yes, I'm playing an Xbox One game. Yes, I'm playing a PS4 game. Yes, I'm playing a Switch game. But in my bag, with me, on the bus, every day is my 2DS. My Hylian Shield 2DS. Nice. Because I liked Link's Awakening so much, I went back and I'm playing A Link Between Worlds.
Oh, awesome. Well, I just picked that game up, so I can play that game too now.
So I've been playing that. I gotta say, man, I missed out on some Zelda, some top-down Zelda games, man.
Yeah, man. It's a continuation of Link to the Past in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I thought it was like a remake of Link to the Past.
No. It's different because it's a different adventure, but it's in that same world. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we get into the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to start with the biggest delay that should have never been a delay, should have never been announced yet, prematurely, of 2020, and that is The Last of Us Part 2. It was supposed to be coming out in February. Now it's been pushed back to the end of May.
I mean, it's been in development. It's been in development forever, for a while now, right?
Oh man, since like maybe the start of the PS4 era, right? Because they had Naughty Dog had like two teams working on Uncharted 4 and working on The Last of Us,
right?
And they ported the original Last of Us to PS4
because it was like a PS3 game.
It was a PS3 game,
end of life PS3 game, but and a fantastic game at that. Ported to the PS4, which makes sense, They can also double dip on the game, They did that with GTA and a couple other games.
But they just announced it for February.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Naughty Dog thought we're in a good spot.
I think
pretty much done.
Well, I think Sony pushed them to come out February.
Well,
and then they just said, "Hey, look, this is not going to work."
Yeah. And it's sad because like. I feel like Sony's committed to quality, but sometimes they look at the bottom line and they're like, "We need to get this game out. We need to get this game."
But
out.
I don't think it's bottom line. I'm not saying no to the bottom line because they're our business, but I think it's more so they want to get these games out earlier so they can have more hype for the PS5.
Sure, I mean like that too. What are you going to get people excited for in the early part of 2020?
They can't put this game out like in September, October, right? Because no one's going to want to buy. Well, they would buy it, but it's too close to the PS5 release.
Right, exactly. It's gonna take some shine away. Oh, yeah. Its shine will be taken away by the PS5.
Well, this is going to come up with some heavy hitter, right? Marvel's Avengers comes out in May 25th, I think. I forgot the exact release date, but I know it comes out in May.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, and it was going to come up against Cyberpunk because Cyberpunk was coming out in February, March, around that time too.
Yeah.
So now I think
Cyberpunk is 420, I think.
420. Well, April. Okay.
Yeah. Cyberpunk is April.
Okay. So, all right. So this is sort of in that window then, right? Because you have Cyberpunk. You got to finish Cyberpunk. Then I don't think you can ever really finish Cyberpunk because there's like 200 hours worth of content. Then you have Marvel's Avengers coming out. We'll see how that one's going to fare because people weren't so hot on that. But maybe when they actually get the game in hand and the reviews come out, maybe people, will warm up to it a little bit more.
Well, the thing about The Last of Us is it's out of those 3 games, it's the only exclusive, right? So
correct.
Anyone who's like a Sony fanboy or just has the PS4 specifically is going to be like, yes, I love this journey. I want to continue Ellie's adventure, right?
It was up against Final Fantasy. That's what it was. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It comes out in February.
Yeah, which is also a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yeah, I know. So it gets it out.
So that's going to be tough.
It gets it out of the way of that. 2020, man, is stacked.
I know. It's going to be a good year.
2020
2 new
stacked.
consoles, bunch of new games. Ghost of Tsushima is coming out at some point in time. All right.
That's probably going to be a launch game.
Maybe.
Because we still don't have a release date.
It's the only one you can hang your hat on now. That may be a launch game.
You know what? If I was Sony, I would put out Ghost. It's like, do you keep Ghost of Tsushima to be like a cross-generational game, a new, sort of a new IP?
Well, it has to be that at a bare minimum, right?
Or do you put it out exclusive like over the summer? Mm-hmm. Right, have a summer game that everyone's going to be talking about, right? Because you're not going to put this September at the latest. Or early September at the latest, like Spider-Man. But you're not going to want to put this out in October.
I mean,
November.
they've certainly done summer releases to good effect. The Witcher 3 in particular was a summer game, 2015, and that game was amazing.
So we got that. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about the PS5. Everyone's excited for the Scarlet and the PS5. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Screw Scarlet. Sorry, it's Prime. The XP.
That's right. Thank you,
XP.
Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for recognizing my genius.
So we still don't know what the killer features are going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, I told you, I just got through telling you about my issue with Call of Duty. I needed to download these 5 packs, even the multiplayer, for the game to work.
Right. And we had talked maybe in like capacity of what Sony's going to do with next generation, but in all honesty, Xbox totally should be doing this too, is compartmentalizing the game to break it down into different parts, right? So for you, someone who doesn't care about multiplayer can just get the single-player campaign. Or somebody like me maybe wants to jump into the multiplayer first and kind of try it out and then do the single-player campaign. Next generation consoles can like pick and choose, right?
That would be we know that's what Sony's going to do. Mm-hmm. We don't know if the Scarlet can do that,
right.
Which would be ludicrous if it didn't mimic that in some way, form, or fashion.
Given that most games are cross-platform and not exclusive, why not? Yeah.
Sony does have. They have Sony, they have their movie division, right? And that was a big reason why Spider-Man was exclusive to the PS4 because they own the movie rights to it. So I'm sure they made some deal with Marvel to have that exclusive to the PS4, which did really well and guarantee Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is going to be on the PS5.
Oh, yeah. Great move.
But Sony also has a music division, right? And they're putting out like an exclusive soundtrack for Death Stranding, right?
Yep.
Their movie division, the music division is.
Yep.
They're going to open up the catalog to have their music division and their games division. I'm sure the movie division too, to the music catalog. Mm-hmm. So if developers want to, use some of the music or artists that are under Sony Music Group, that they can. Now, will it be a failure? Will it be a success? Only time can tell. I would assume or hope it would be more on the success side, right? Where developers have the choice to use some of the songs or artists on the catalog of Sony Music Group, right? That fit whatever game they want to make.
Right.
But this is a no-brainer in the sense that they're opening up their catalog.
Well, I mean,
they're making available, right?
It's the thing that people always like joke about, the brand synergy, right? But considering that Sony has all these different wings, right? And if there's a game that says like, or a developer that says like, hey, it'd be great to get, this artist into this particular game, and if it's a Sony exclusive, they have the ability to say, hey, Sony, like, you had said that you're opening your doors and the music catalog would be available at I'm assuming a discounted rate or whatever it is. Maybe we can license some of this music into this game since, it's a Sony exclusive or like, whatever. So like in that case, sure, like that could be like great, the thing that I definitely don't want to have happen, and this has happened time and time again, is when music gets shoehorned into a game to try and make it more relevant or popular, right? I can take, for example, Halo 2, right? They tried to shoehorn Incubus into their game soundtrack, and it didn't do anything for the game, in my opinion. Like, I would rather not have Incubus be in this epic space opera.
Well, what if just because you think it doesn't work, what if? I mean, that is sort of subjective, right? Like, what if the developers thought that this particular artist that's on a Sony Music Group did work, and it worked for them, right? When they were developing the game, it just didn't work for some people.
Well, I mean,
is it a success? Is it a failure?
Like Bungie was under Microsoft's wing at that point, right? And Microsoft was doing everything in their power to make their console hip and relevant. So I feel like it was a top-down thing in this case, right?
Yeah.
In the case of like Death Stranding, right? Kojima's God.
Oh God! Stop.
I love Kojima. He can do no wrong in my opinion. Right? Man's freaking genius.
Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, great game.
All right, keep talking.
You may not have liked it, just like I didn't like Incubus and the Halo 2 soundtrack. But
it's subjective.
Yeah, fair. So like Kojima got the band Churches, which I think is great, to do an exclusive song. I think like Timefall or something in the Death Stranding world. So that like plays at some point in time during the game, and I feel like that's something that he wanted in the game because he had this vision or whatever. I think it'd be great to do this music crossover and this and that.
He's big into movies and music too.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he likes a lot of amazing stuff, and he's like, I want to get these guys in my band. I want to get these guys in my game, and he made that happen. And I feel like that's going to work out real well, right? That's like, I think that's a good case for this type situation, right?
Well, again, it could be, as long as we both agree, as long as Sony doesn't try to shoehorn somebody.
That's my fear.
Force someone on top of them and say, no, Alicia Keys must do scores in the soundtrack for The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not like the new hotness right now.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work. But if a developer wants to use somebody because they feel it would benefit the game.
Right.
The catalog is open to them. It's easy. It's just an easier.
That'd be great.
It's an easier path to making it happen.
Sure.
Because it's internal.
Sure.
Sony Ben wants Shakira, which I don't even know if is.
Oh no! Yeah, no.
I don't even know if she's on Sony Music Group.
Even if she is, still.
If Sony Ben was making a Jesus game,
right,
and they wanted Kanye.
Right.
To do
Kanye was under Sony's label. Boom, there it is. Yeah.
I think Good Music is on the Sony.
Oh, maybe. I thought it was part of Rockefeller Records and all that. And
well, Rockefeller Records doesn't exist anymore. It's Rock Nation.
Well, whatever it is now, but I don't think Sony.
Well, I don't.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just pulling up. I'm pulling it together.
Sure.
It's easier path to make that happen.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
But the PS5, no matter what special features they have, we've debated about what the price would be, because that is always going to be in question. What are these next-gen consoles going to cost us? I think that we're more open to paying that $600 for PS5 than we were for PS3, because it'll be, sort of the rumor is that we'll have like a Pro model and a base model, right? So the Pro model is $600. We speculated what that could have, may or may not have.
I think we talked about it last week, actually.
And we talked about what the base model would be. There's a new rumor out that the PS5 will be $499.
Sure.
So it's no funky price like
Oh, with the extra tax and all
the
that.
tariffs and all that stuff. We said if it was anything that was other than 99, like a whole in the hundreds,
Yep.
that it would be because of the tariffs.
Yep.
But the rumor is it'll be $499, so it's $500, right? And it's going to come out the first week of December, not November. They came out the last week of November. The PS4 came out. Launched the last week of November. I think it launched on Black Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it was the week after the Xbox One. This sort of makes sense because I think the original PlayStation came out the first week of December in the U.S.
I believe
correct?
It came out December 4th, if I'm not mistaken. And it would be neat to kind of like tie that back into the original launch of the system, right? It's like we started out December 4th, the PS1, PS5. We're also going to launch on December 4th.
Look at the marketing. It'll be 25-year anniversary, and the 2 just fades away, and it's the PS5.
26 years, but they can make it work.
They can make it work. They can make it work. Listen. Xbox just forgot about the 9th operating system and went straight to 10, right?
Well, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, they kind of discounted Windows NT and Windows ME.
I think we're not going to get a Mario Kart 9. They're going to say, you know what? You have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and you have Mario Kart Tour. That's part. You can
It's going to be Mario Kart X?
Yeah, it's going to be Mario Kart X.
DMX edition.
It's going to be Mario Kart X. I'm telling you. They're going to say it's either Tour or Deluxe 8. 8 Deluxe is going to be, well, you already have your 9, right? So you already have your Mario Kart 9. And so here's Mario Kart X.
Yeah, right.
And it's going to be everybody. It's going to be SpongeBob. There's going to be Garfield.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's going to be Mario Kart Ultimate.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be Mario Kart Ultimate.
That's right.
You heard it here first.
Listen. As long as I can ride as Joker from Persona 5, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So I think 500. I don't know if that's the base.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable.
It's been done before. The PS3 launched at $600, right?
I don't think, but even if it's $500, I think that's
the Xbox 360 was.
I think that's
right?
going to be. I think but no,
it's 5 and 6. I thought.
No, it wasn't. No. The 360 was cheaper than the PS3.
I know. $600 for the
PS3.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
And $500 for the Xbox 360.
So it was $399. I could be wrong. I remember that was so long ago. We're old men.
I know.
We're old guys. But 500, and I think is sort of like in between what I thought. I thought it would be 6 and 4, right? So if they have 2 models, if they don't have 2 models, then 500 is probably splitting the difference. I think that'll be right up the alley. Mm-hmm. So I could see that. I could see that working. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the Xbox 360 was $500. I think it was like three and change.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. So we're looking at these numbers online. The core model or the arcade model, I think, that didn't have the hard drive in it was $299, which was weird. And then the model with the hard drive, $399. So it's like a $200 difference between the 360 and the PS3. So I mean, those are like price points that have been out there, launch price points and whatnot. The PS5 coming out at $500, I would pay it. I think a lot of people would pay it. I think that's a fair price, right?
Well, we don't know if it's going to be a Pro or not, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it does come out in December, first week of December. Mm-hmm. Give me some time because I think the Xbox is going to come out early November, so it'll be a couple of weeks in between instead of 1 week like it was the last generation or this generation.
Yeah. I mean, they could get up on that. They get up in those Black Friday sales.
Well, it's not going to be on sale.
No. But
the thing that will be on sale is PS4.
But I'm just saying they'll have it out there on the show floor.
Yeah. The rumor is for Black Friday the PS4 Slim will be $150.
Ooh.
Definitely going to wait to buy that.
That is a severe discount. That is that is a half price.
That's going to be this Black Friday. So imagine next Black Friday when the new systems are out.
Fire sale.
Fire sale. $100.
I don't know about the half off. Because it goes for about $300 right now.
It's $300 right now, so it'll be $100. It'll be $150.
Yeah, the half price, maybe $100.
Widely reported, it's going to be like $150 on Black Friday.
That's insane.
Probably limited quantity. It's not going to be every.
Oh, like maybe like the first 20 people or the first 30 people.
It's gonna be sold out, just like the Slim with the Spider-Man bundle was sold out.
Of course.
Right, the only one who had it was the Target in Manhattan, which is all the way in Harlem.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't going all the way up there.
No one wants to go all the way up to Harlem.
I wasn't going all the way up there. All right. Well, we got more delays. Not just The Last of Us Part 2, but Ubisoft. Ubisoft just delayed everything.
Yeah.
Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Watch Dogs Legion was supposed to come out around February, right? That was also coming out February, March time period.
Yep.
That's all been delayed
Yep.
to the next year, next quarterly, right? So it could launch between March of 2020 and April of 2021.
Yeah, so I think part of this is because game sales of their current releases, the new Ghost Recon game and the new Division game, did not perform as well as they thought.
You mean games with a service didn't do as well because there are too many goddamn games as services out there, and they're not really focused on making new IP and interesting IP? Oh, it's not working.
Well, there you go.
Poor baby.
There you go. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You have to take a step back and say, hey, your games aren't doing too well. Like, you need to go back and retool these games to make sure that they're
more interesting games instead of just trying to nickel and dime us for every little thing.
I mean, Gods and Monsters is a brand new IP.
I know. They're going to probably try to make it like a games with a service.
I don't know if that's the case in that this scenario, and especially not now because they're obviously pulling it back to retool it a little bit, right?
They're going to retool it to try to make it even more.
I don't.
Hey,
I
you
don't,
want this monster? It's behind this paywall of $4.99 subscription.
No. You don't want to go. You don't want to go all in. You don't want to go hard on loot boxes and all this other stuff. When people are having backlashes on that, and when your current games that are out that do have loot boxes, do have these kind of things that'll nickel and dime you that aren't doing that well, right? Maybe you come back and you hone the core gameplay, like Watch Dogs Legion. By all means, should be a good, competent single-player game, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Watch Dogs Legion, they claim that you can take over anybody. Right? You can hack anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How realistic is that? All these people, they made all these different NPCs that you could just hack and take over. It'll be like, all right, well, if you want this special, if you want to take over this special group of people, it's going to cost you $5.99 a month.
Oh, see, they can't do that. That means they're not learning from their mistakes, right? Or maybe it's more just like, hey, these games are good, but they could be better. They need more time, so maybe the core mechanics behind the scenes aren't that great. That could be too.
I have no hope for Beyond Good and Evil, the sequel.
Why is that?
God, this is going to be like games with a service instead of just a game with a story. Come on, you're gonna be on a ship, and you're gonna be able to go all different worlds. It's gonna be they're gonna find some way to try to make it. They're gonna try to make it. Oh, really?
Mr. Negativity.
Really? I'm the one that always has a positive outlook on things.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, but this doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy. Where they're saying, oh, you know what? We just didn't present it well to people, to the gamers. Let's take this back, and we're going to present it even better with more subscription services.
Well, maybe. I mean, what do you think they're going to do with The Last of Us? The Last of Us is being retooled because it needs to be better in a way, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to be, hey, you want more monsters? That'd be $2.99 a month.
Right, exactly. But you feel like Ubisoft, given their past record, is gonna toss some more stuff in there in a way. And that'd be a detriment.
It's going to be a detriment to the show. It's going to be a detriment to the games. And we enjoyed the Division 2.
Division 2 is we did, and I think it's a good game, but not great. Fans weren't jumping up and down for it because the first one was very sparse.
That's true.
As much as we enjoyed it, we had a decent time playing that game, and it was fun, but there wasn't a lot to do.
Well, I think the first one, I think we could have explored the city a little bit more in the first one. We just never got a chance to.
We did most of that game, I think.
I don't think so. We could have hit 30 easily.
Yeah, but I mean, even
We're
still, we'd be
halfway
doing
through.
the same. We've been doing the same missions over and over again.
But we haven't even scratched the surface on Division 2. We could do a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, like 100%. But I still don't think it was enough to resonate with fans. Obviously, it didn't do too well, like sales numbers wise. So they weren't able to like bank on that to be like, oh, we're going to put these games out. They're going to be out on time.
Yeah, I like the older Ghost Recon games. They had a single player campaign.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe that's what they're doing here. They're
Maybe
like,
that's what they need to do, because this Ghost Recon, just straight multiplayer, didn't sell as well.
Yeah, right.
But I'm sure they're going to sort of retool it, make it a little bit cheaper, and I'll find a fan base over time. But, just come on. Not everything needs to be multiplayer. Not everything needs to be games with a service. You know why? Because we have it's like streaming services. Everyone's gonna have their own streaming service, and a lot of them are gonna fail, and they're gonna say the streaming services era is gonna die because everyone's not subscribing to every streaming service out.
It's never gonna die. As much as you want it to go back to the Stone Age.
I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not. People are gonna say, "Oh, all these streaming services are." A lot of them are gonna fail because why am I gonna subscribe to CBS, NBC? I'm going to subscribe to all these separate streaming services when I want one hub to get them.
But you're never gonna have that though.
Oh,
it's never gonna be like hub based because everyone's gonna do their own thing.
You're gonna get hub based eventually, not anytime soon because everyone's launching their own. But eventually, when it's like 1,500 streaming services, people are gonna realize, oh well, this is not why our numbers aren't going up anymore as drastically as it did when we first got here. But why? Because people have all these choices that it's going to go up and down. It's going to keep going up and down.
But some people don't want all that. I'm
talking about canceling Netflix because I want Disney Plus, but I'm going to get Netflix. I'm going to renew my Netflix subscription next year when Stranger Things 4 comes out, and I'm going to cancel it again.
I mean, look, some people just want certain things, right? Some people just want wrestling. Some people just want MLB. And that's what they want. So if they can get that for, $5 to $10 a month and, it satisfies what they want, like, why not? The segmentation in some ways is good.
In some ways it's bad.
Because it was like a backlash against the cable monopolies, right?
Yes.
Where you'd spend like $80 and you'd only watch 2 channels.
And it keeps going up.
Right, exactly.
$80,
and you're still
$90,
just watching
$100.
2 channels.
But you know what I want? This is what I want. I want when I pre-order a game, I want to get the game the day it comes out.
Well,
all right. But if you pre-ordered Stadia, something new, the Founders Pack, well, if you pre-ordered the beta, because that's exactly what it is,
right,
or the alpha at this point,
yeah,
you may not get it November 19th, the launch date.
Yeah, they had some fulfillment orders, some fulfillment issues.
First come, first serve. So whoever first pre-ordered it, the pre-orders will be set. Whoever bought it, in the order that they bought it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So
time and date stamp.
So some people may get it 2 weeks afterwards. So they say all orders may be fulfilled within 2 weeks.
Right.
But I pre-ordered it for it to be launch day. It doesn't matter if I pre-ordered it right now or pre-ordered it 6 months ago when we announced it. I should get it the day.
I mean, ideally, yes, but they had some production issues. Obviously they couldn't get all the controllers and units out.
PS4
ready to go.
PlayStation had PS4 controllers. You could pre-order PS4 controllers in anticipation of getting a console.
See, but the difference between Google and Sony is Sony had 15 years expertise on this. Google does not, right? So they obviously made a big mistake, right? They don't have all this.
They hired experts. They hired experts from the gaming industry.
I mean, that's still actual time. Hours put in, expertise, right? They still don't have. You can do all the prep and all the whatever and this and that. They made an error in the production call, right? So the only thing they can do now is say, all right, we're gonna go top down. We're gonna say, all right, we got 10. We're gonna ship out to the first 10 people, the first 20, the first 30, whatever it is. It sucks, but yeah, I don't know.
This is a bad look for Stadia's beta.
A little bit.
For Stadia's beta is a bad
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'm calling it the beta. I'm sorry, it's the beta. Until it's open to everyone for all their...
That's not going to be until next year.
That's not going to be until next year. Also a bad look. I think this is just a string of bad looks. Fallout 76. Now, I was all in Fallout 76 after the Bethesda press conference at E3 because
It was all multiplayer.
you can have NPCs in a single player experience. They promised it. Now they are
but it
keeping
was
their
still a multiplayer game, though.
they are keeping their promise with a caveat. Now, if you want to have that single player experience and have your own server, they're going to charge you $100 a year, or $12.99 a month.
Yeah, which is interesting because, well, I mean, there's like a couple things to unpack here, right? This is called, like, I think Fallout First.
Fallout First.
Yeah, right.
Which is already bombed because it has so many different glitches. It's not even working.
Right.
This is ridiculous. It's funny. It's hilariously ridiculous.
But they said they were going to do like NPCs and all other stuff as like a thing to the core Fallout 76 game, right? And they put that, whatever that bit was, like on hold for this Fallout First thing, and you're charging people money for something that's like super glitchy. On top of Fallout 76 having a disastrous launch.
I spent $17.99 on this damn game.
Well, you spent $17.99 too much, Dan. I don't even know why you bought this game.
$16.99 too much. I'm sorry.
I don't know why you bought
because
this game.
I wanted the NPCs and I wanted to have the single player experience in it. That's why.
But it's not a single player game. No matter how much they try and make it a single player.
No, you can play it by yourself.
But that's really not. It's really not a good experience.
It's not the way.
There's nothing to
it's not
do
the
in
way
the
to design for that. But you can play it by yourself. Maybe I just want to live, just like in Shenmue. Like in Shenmue, I want to work.
Have you tried to play this game at all?
No, you know what? Because everything I want, I got to pay $12.99 a month for.
See, it's a broken experience. Yeah.
So now I'm not going to do it.
It's terrible. Like, I don't know why Bethesda doesn't learn. They keep trying to resuscitate this game. I want to say service because it kind of is a service. They want to try and resuscitate this and make it a thing, and it's just it's God.
You want to know how you do it? You want to know how you do it properly? Mm-hmm. Look at. I told you, PlayStation 4 came out. You could pre-order the PlayStation controllers, and PlayStation DualShock 4 controllers were shipped out before the system was even released. Mm-hmm. Xbox. Look at Xbox. They have the new Elite Controller version 2 coming out for like $180. It's crazy, some crazy number. I'm not going to buy it. Well, if they have a white one. Do they have a white? I haven't seen a white one. I know they have a white one for the version 1, but do they have a white one for version 2? I may buy that one. I may buy that one just so I can, well, right now they don't have a white one, but if they eventually announce a white one, I will buy that one. Just so I can have I'll have the two Xbox Elite controllers. Right. One, I'll know the white one is a version 2. Right. Because they look sort of similar except for the silver trim at the top.
Sure. Yeah. Behind the scenes, they're different.
Behind the scenes, they're different. But all Xbox One controllers will work with the new Project Scarlet. Or, as we know, the system will be called the Xbox Prime XP.
Well, here. Good on Microsoft for doing that. This is like taking a note out of Sony's book, right? Where like the power cord and the AV cables from the PS1 work on the PS2 and work on the PS3.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Right? It's like ingenious. The PlayStation 1 controller will work on the PS2. The memory cards from the PS1 will work on the PS2. Right. This is not what Microsoft was doing from the get-go.
In a launch $600 PS3 game, PS3 system will play all of PS2 and PS1 games.
Yes. It would play some PS2 and all the PS1 games, which was amazing. That was great. Xbox 360 couldn't get that out the gate. Xbox One couldn't get that out the gate. All right. I love when companies do things like this. All right. Because it says that they're thinking about the previous generation. They're thinking about their current subscriber base, right? They're saying, hey, we know you have all this stuff. We know you don't want to spend thousands of dollars buying it all again for the new system. We're gonna go ahead and make this work. What I think this also says, and we talked about this off the mic, is that the controller is probably not going to be too much different than what the Xbox One controllers are now, right?
No. How can they make it totally shifted, make it totally different when I think the Xbox controller is pretty good the way it is? I mean, it'll be some minor controller. It'll be some minor tweaks. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to put a lot of time and effort into emphasizing how different the controller is.
Right.
But I think they're going to, it's going to be 50,000 teraflops, and you can pick
50,000 teraflops.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
It'd be a big console.
I know, definitely.
I would need I would need it shipped here in like a container. Shipping costs would be through the roof.
Oh my god, I know.
No, I don't think the controller is going to be totally different. Not to mention they have the way you can customize your controller, right? And they don't want to make it that much different. So the emphasis, I think Sony would put a little bit more emphasis on the controller, where Xbox put a lot of emphasis on how different it is from the Xbox One X. It's like 20 times more powerful than Xbox One X or something like that. Talk about debacles. Let's talk about last year, right? At a BlizzCon. And I think we were on opposite sides of the fence on this deal, where they at a hardcore PC convention, essentially, because all these guys are all PC nerds. Taking it back to the early days of the podcast, where I call people PC nerds.
I know,
and I love you guys.
So on PC. Funny enough, Dan.
I love you guys. Because I'm a PS4 nerd. Right, and you guys
100%.
Hardcore PC nerds.
Yeah, it's a different world, but the worlds are melding. Everything's coming together.
Everything. I mean, cause PC, the PS4 and Xbox One are more like PCs than anything.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And they didn't announce Diablo 4. They announced Diablo Mobile or something, whatever.
Diablo Immortal was the name.
You know what? Immortal, Immobile, that's what, whatever.
Diablo Immortal. And famously, the dev said, you guys all have phones, don't you?
Right.
And that was a big slap in the face. And it was like, come on now. Like, everyone wants to play Diablo on the go, right? It's
now this whole thing with Activision Blizzard, the whole controversy with China, which we've covered already. If you want to hear about that, you can go listen to our past episodes the last couple of weeks.
Two or three episodes ago, I think.
Right, I'm not going to get back. I'm not going to rehash that. Everyone was thinking about sort of boycotting BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah.
Or something along those lines. But then we got this leak. Of an art book. Outlining Diablo 4.
Well, I mean, it was posted on one of the sites, maybe Amazon or something like that, this and that. And they're like, oh, it's got Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4 artwork. And it's like, wait a minute.
Oops.
Diablo 4 is not out yet.
Oops. Well, screw not even out yet. It's not even announced.
No, but I mean, in all honesty, that's what people thought was going to get announced last year, because that was a good, Diablo 3 was 2014, maybe? So, that would have been like 4 years since.
Come on, man. That's not a good number. You got to do it in the fifth year.
In the fifth year. Well, now's the year.
In the fifth year, you get the fourth version of the game.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, now everyone's like wildly speculating, are they going to announce Diablo 4? Are they going to announce Diablo 4? Hopefully. I love 3. I thought
100% they're going to do that. To create a little bit of goodwill out of this firestorm of China that they've had to deal with in the last couple of weeks.
I know. Well, it's also been rumored that a remake of Diablo 2, which technically was wildly different than 3 in some of the core mechanics, they were kind of, there's rumors going about that a full-on remake for Diablo 2, which would also give a ton of goodwill to the fans. So we'll see.
You know who they should hire? They should hire Reggie Fils-Aimé, formerly Nintendo president of America.
Right.
To come out of retirement and run Blizzard Activision.
Oh, boy. He'd turn it into a powerhouse, man.
He would turn it into... Well, not only would he turn it into a powerhouse...
He would say you have to pack in every PC with Diablo 3.
Well, no, you know what he would do? He'll say, every game on the Switch.
Yeah, right?
Every game's coming to the Switch.
Diablo 4, day one, Switch exclusive.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
So, Reggie, I love Reggie. He's one of my favorite
great, man.
video game, figureheads, right?
Sure.
Like personalities.
Yeah.
I am the Reginator. He is he's a professor at Cornell. I think he sort of had a first lecture, which will be... They would put out on the internet. I think it was 2 or 3 hours long. They're going to put out
soon enough. Yeah.
They're going to put out on the internet soon enough. But he had, of course, people are going to ask him about Nintendo, and he's going to have a bunch of Nintendo stories. And one of his stories, a couple of stories, and one of his stories was Satoru Iwata, rest in peace, rest in peace, Satoru Iwata. No, Listen, love that dude too, right?
I know, he was great.
He didn't want Wii Sports packaged in with all the Wii consoles. Reggie had to fight for that.
It's insane to think that the Wii and Wii Sports, like, they're ubiquitous.
Is that last? I think that's the last game. I think that's the last console to actually come with the game packed in.
For like launch, 100%. Yeah.
Not even. I mean, every Wii came with a Wii Sports. So
that's what I mean. Yeah.
So Wii U didn't come with Nintendo Land, did it?
I don't think so. No,
I don't remember.
I don't think.
Well, a lot of people don't remember anything about the Wii U launch.
No, I don't think it was. I mean, we all know original Xbox, PS2, even like the Dreamcast. None of those systems came with games.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Nintendo 64 was the first gaming console that didn't come packed in with a game.
PlayStation N64, like that era, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first. Yeah, that was the era that didn't come with a game.
That's right.
You had a demo. No, didn't you have a demo disc with the PlayStation?
PlayStation had a demo disc, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
so it had something. Right.
But there was no demo cart for the N64.
There was no demo cart for the N64.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like Super Nintendo came with Super Mario World. So that was sort of like the last like major system that launched with like a game, like a major game too, not just a game.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Imagine if like Ghost of Tsushima launched with the PS5 and it wasn't anything extra. It was just the same price of it. It was the same price.
Right. That'd be fantastic, man.
That would. I wish we need to go back to old school.
That's not going to happen, sadly.
I know it's not.
Because I know people are willing to pay the price.
I know.
They've done the research, sadly. But that would be great. That would be great.
And talk about the Wii U. Reggie also talked about how the failure of the Wii U helped them to launch the Switch.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. You wouldn't have the Switch without the Wii U.
The Wii U was the Switch prototype.
Yeah, which is actually funny because when people when they announced the Switch, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's just like a Wii U but chopped off on the edges." And I'm like, "Yeah, no duh. It's the evolution of the idea that they had in 2012, right? They're like they just didn't have either the expertise or the technology or both,
wasn't there.
To like realize their vision.
The Integra chip, they needed that. Mm-hmm. That was vital to this whole thing. We wouldn't have the Switch without it.
That's right. So
his salute NVIDIA.
Yeah, right. Say what you want about the Wii U. It was definitely. We wouldn't have the Switch without it. Like there's really no way. There's no other way to cut it. It was a necessary failure forward, he calls it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, I think I would love to see Reggie live and do one of these lectures.
Oh my God, we should go to Cornell then.
We should apply to Cornell.
I wouldn't say apply. We should go and sit in on a lecture.
Oh, we just want to crash?
Sneak in. Yeah,
it'd be not wedding crashers, school crashers.
Who's gonna know, man?
College crashers.
Who's gonna know? The big like stadium seating and whatnot. The lights are low. We could just like sneak right in.
Because we're both gonna have gaming T-shirts.
Yeah, it's fine.
And we look old.
I'm gonna have a big Reggie face over mine. It's gonna be great.
All right, let's take it serious. Let's end on a serious note. We've talked about studies that made video games are an addiction, and we talked about, I think last week or the week before, about the whole lawsuit against Fortnite, class action lawsuit against Fortnite for making Fortnite addictive to kids because they hired psychologists to see how they can make it more addictive. Right. I think it's interesting. There's a new research found insufficient evidence to suggest that gaming should be classified as a clinical disorder.
No duh. This is like, I mean, I think it's something that me and you kind of always knew, right? Like, gaming isn't inherently evil, right? There are a lot of good positives about gaming, right?
Well, gambling's not evil either, right? Inherently evil.
Right.
Things aren't inherently evil. It's all sort of mental. Where it is
right. You have a predilection towards this certain thing, right? You have a tick in the head or whatever it is, or you have these mental conditions, and that's why you hear these stories of like shut-ins play World of Warcraft for 72 hours and then die of like overexhaustion or whatever it is, and it's like, yeah, like those people have like actual problems and they need help. Like, it's not necessarily the games that are at fault in this case, right? It's not just like, oh, I have a gaming addiction. Like, there's possible mental disorders like tied to that, and people do need help in this case, right? It's really more than just boiling it down to games are bad, let's ban games.
That's like everybody, I don't want to get political or anything, but I mean, when there are mass shootings, it's the first thing they want to do. Not gun control, video game control.
Right.
Let's take out the violence in video games.
Right. Grand Theft Auto made me do it, not maybe
have a mental breakdown.
Condition or whatever it is, and that kind of led me towards a certain thing, So it's very interesting the leaps and bounds that people make, like the correlations without causation. I think is the thing that people like to say.
My issue with Fortnite lawsuit, right? Because anything can be really addictive.
Sure.
I mean, I love ice cream, and you know what? If you let me eat ice cream all the time, I will eat ice cream all the time. My mom, true story. I really do. I loved the Napoleon ice cream as a kid, where it was like vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
Yeah, but I would always just have the vanilla and the chocolate. I wasn't a fan of the strawberry.
I loved it. I would not have the chocolate part.
Really?
I would like the strawberry. Wow. I love the strawberry because it was something different, it was something new, and I love fruit, so I love regular strawberries. And it was always like I needed my parents, my father too, to whip my butt and tell me not to wake up at 3 a.m. and to sneak some ice cream cone.
Need a little bit of regulation.
I needed some regulation. To save me from myself.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right. Fortnite. I have a coworker whose son loves Fortnite on the Xbox One. Right, and she says, you know what? You do good in school. You do this. You could play it. You could play Fortnite. You can make new friends, even though it's appalling to her that people make friends online because she's old school.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world to her. But, there's no Fortnite after like 10 o'clock. Well, he's older now, so he doesn't really play Fortnite as much.
Sure.
But, there was no Fortnite. She set the rules. There's no Fortnite after like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Sure.
It's called parenting.
That's right. I had a rule in my house. I couldn't play games on the weekday. Games were only for the weekend.
Yeah.
Right? You can watch TV. That's fine. But you got to get your work done. You can play games on the weekend. I said, okay. It is what it is, Mom. I hated it, but... it was for my own good.
And now look at you.
I know.
There's never enough time to play video games.
I know, right? Oh, it's ridiculous. When I had all the time in the world, now I have no time in the world. That's very nicely said, Dan. And that about does it, man. That's episode 190 in the books. We want to thank you guys for sticking with us and doing all the good things you do. And before we go out, remember, folks, this is the last week of our October contest. We dropped this week's code earlier in the show, so go back and take a listen if you missed it. Send us that code via social media, DM or private message, or email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com for entry. And if you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.